You know, when you talk about what it means to be a Marine, I'm sitting here, there's so many former Marines in the room. The Marine Corps League over here, which is, you know, these guys over here are the whole reason why there isn't any honor associated with this uniform whatsoever. So I kind of look at that and I remember the day that I became a Marine, the day that I actually earned the title. And a lot of people relate to this, and Parris Island is just one of those places that you never forget. And, you know, for so many reasons. But the one thing that I'll always remember was, you know, it was an October morning, and I've been there for 13 weeks, and, you know, I was fortunate enough to be one of the first recruits to go through what was called the Crucible. And, you know, here we were, and we've been away for 60 hours, we just moved 60 miles. We've done all sorts of, I don't even know what it was. I was in such a fog, I don't know what I did. But I know that I made it. And here we were coming back on this final 11-mile hike. And like I said, we've already moved 60. And your boots are, you know, you're full of blood. You got blisters popping, and mosquitoes are chowing down on you for their 5th or 6th meal. And, you know, and of course we all remember the sand fleas. And, you know, and they're walking in formation with you. You don't know what's going on. And I remember just as the sun started to crest over the swamp of South Carolina, over Parris Island, there was just, and all you could see was the shadow of your fellow Marine. And we all just looked the same. You know, there's just that pack and helmet, and we're all just forging, just going forward. Some of us were carrying someone else's pack. Some of us had another man's rifle. But we were all going to make it. We started together, and we were going to finish together. And we got down to that Iwo Jima Memorial, standing there. You know, here's everything that, you know, kind of like says everything about the Marine Corps. And here I am, standing there. You know, I smell awful. I feel worse. And here we are standing up, and I'm standing there in a position of tension, and here comes this drill instructor. And I was positive that this man hated me. And here he comes in front of me. And he looks at me, and I'm standing there. You know, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if I'm getting a head or gut check or what's going to happen. But I'm standing there, and he comes up, and he's got this board. And off of this board, he pulls this envelope. And it's the Eagle Globe and Anchor. And he takes this Eagle Globe and Anchor, and he puts it in my hand. And he squeezes it, presses it, and shakes my hand in the same motion, slaps me on the side, and says, "Congratulations, you made it." And I don't care what it was, I burst into tears. I'll get a little worked up now thinking. This man had called me everything but my name for 15 minutes. And here he is, and and shortly after that, you know, they played the song that was due sung by Christmas. By the way, we all decided that you should be on American Idol. I've seen the people up there, and and here we are standing there, and for the first time, I was so proud. I mean, I was 19, I was a pain in the ass in Fitchburg. Here I am, you know, I'm standing here at Parris Island, and I just got this great honor bestowed upon me. And here we go, and we stand there, and the sun's still cresting up, and morning color starts. And I'm standing there just locked and cocked, and they raise that flag up over that Iwo Jima Memorial. And for the first time in my life, for the first time, I got to salute that flag as a warrior, sworn to defend it. And it was the greatest moment of my life, because I had purpose. And, you know, we think about, you know, the things that come into being a Marine. You talk about honor, you know, and people say, "Oh, well, honor, you know, you're an honorable person, what does that mean?" But to a Marine, honor is truly it's a commitment to deciding at that very moment that for the rest of my life, I'm going to be dedicated to this unbelievable sense of integrity. And not just to myself, but to my Marines, to my family, to my country, and to the Corps. No matter what I do, it's going to be filled with honor. And no man that knows me will ever question my integrity. They won't have to, because they know by the true virtue of being a Marine, I'm an honorable man. And I bring that, and I'm an honorable warrior. And as that sunk in over the years, you don't really get it right away at Parris Island. That's just filled you through the years. You truly embrace it. And that brings you into your courage. And you start talking about the courage of being a Marine. What is courage? Everyone says, "Oh, courage, you know, we have firemen, we have police officers, we have soldiers, we have Marines." It's courage. But it's the courage to do so much more. It's the courage to know that when everything's blowing up and everyone's running that way, you're going that way.
And why? Because you know that it has to be done. Someone has to go. And I'm going. Because he's going. And he's going. So I'm going. And you know what? God willing, I'm going to beat them there and handle whatever's up there first. Because I have that kind of courage that fills me. The courage to make the right decisions. Not always the most popular decisions, but definitely the ones that need to be made. And it fills you with the courage to lead. To look about your brothers and step up and say, hey, we got to do this thing, we got to do it right. And it just all ties in together for you. And it's what makes Marines great. It is their ability to just stand up with this moral, physical, and emotional, mental courage. It really is what gives us the poise that stands about. I always was, anytime I was in some kind of situation, whether it be battle or training or whatever, and it was a multi-service exercise, I was always awed about the fact that you just see these salt dogs just standing there, and all hell's breaking loose around them. And they're just standing there, cool as a cucumber. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do, we're going to get it done. Because they have courage and confidence in themselves. And they're Marines. And we know that come hell or high water, and whatever we got to do, and whatever we got to figure out, we're going to have what it takes to get it done. And that's the commitment of it. I mean, that's truly the commitment. And I think about that as just this unrelenting spirit of determination to be superior at everything we do. I brought Captain Coleman with me because he's one of the few officers that I actually like. So, and we can't even run together. I mean, we're not allowed to run together because we go out for a leisurely jog and it turns into a death spree. Because he's not going to let me beat him, I'm not going to let him beat me. And it just turns into that. And whatever it is we do, you know, Marines, we were talking, some of the guys of us were talking about Marines, how you can't make up the stuff that they do. Because they're so determined to be the best at whatever and just take it to the next level. You go out on a run and it's going to be a 5-mile run. Next thing you know, you saw a second platoon and they're running 6 miles. So now we got to run 7 miles in the soft sand. You know, it's just constant determination to push yourself to this level that's almost unhuman. And no one else understands it. No one else gets it. You try to talk to people about it. You say, hey, well, this is what we did. And they're like, why would you do that? Why not?